By the time this video ends, 112 seniors around the world will be hospitalized for a disease that Japanese elders almost never get. Heart disease, diabetes, stroke, even Alzheimer's. In most countries, these are seen as inevitable after 60. But in places like Okinawa and Nagano, seniors are living past 100, not just alive, but thriving, walking, dancing, gardening, with minds as sharp as ever. What are they doing that we're not? Today, I'm going to show you the 10 biggest differences, including one tiny food habit that shocked even Harvard researchers. So if you want to live longer, stronger, and die young at a very old age, stay with me. Have you ever noticed how most people in the West dread getting older? It's almost like aging is a curse, something to be feared, hidden, or medicated. But in Japan, aging is seen completely differently. It's not a fall from youth, it's a return to wisdom. And this mindset changes everything. Let me tell you about Hideki, a 72-year-old farmer from the outskirts of Kyoto. Every morning at 5:30 a.m., Hideki walks barefoot through his vegetable garden, not just to tend to the crops, but to connect with the earth. To him, growing old doesn't mean slowing down, it means becoming more rooted. He once said something unforgettable. "My back is stiffer now, but my spirit is more flexible than ever." Aging isn't losing strength, it's gaining focus. And here's the difference. While Western seniors are often shocked by sudden weakness, joint pain, or memory lapses, Japanese elders expect change. They train for it. They prepare their minds and their bodies, long before decline begins. In fact, many start modifying their meals, sleep, movement, and mindset in their 40s and 50s, not when something goes wrong, but to prevent it from happening in the first place. This proactive, almost reverent approach to aging helps explain why Japan has one of the longest health spans on Earth. They don't just live longer, they stay healthier longer. They don't wait until their legs give out or their mind starts to slip. They act before the pain, and maybe that's where we've gone wrong. Maybe aging isn't the enemy. Maybe ignoring it is. If you believe aging should be respected, not feared, comment yes below. Your voice might remind someone that growing old can be powerful, not pitiful. In the West, eating is often rushed. A slice of toast, a quick coffee, maybe a microwave dinner if we're too tired. But in Japan, food is something else entirely. It's not just fuel, it's medicine. Let me tell you about Keiko, an 81-year-old widow from Hiroshima. After losing her husband to a heart attack at 67, she made a quiet promise to herself. "I won't go the same way." For years, Keiko had eaten like many of us. White rice, sweet rolls, store-bought noodles. Whatever was fast and easy. But after her loss, she turned to her grandmother's way of eating, the old way. Miso soup with seaweed every morning, fermented daikon and pickled plums, tiny portions of grilled fish, not fried. Natto with rice, even though the smell made her grandchildren giggle. And green tea, not soda. Ever. She didn't just eat lighter, she ate smarter. Within 6 months, her blood pressure dropped by 30 points. Her joint pain faded, and her energy, which had slowly vanished in her 70s, returned like sunlight breaking through clouds. Keiko's story isn't rare. In fact, across Japan, seniors eat in ways that nourish cells, calm inflammation, and stabilize blood sugar, all without fancy diets or expensive supplements. Compare that to most Western meals, ultra-processed, full of seed oils, sugar, and artificial fillers. No wonder chronic disease is exploding. The Japanese way of eating is built on centuries of wisdom and a belief that food should make you better, not just full, and it shows. If you believe food should be healing, not harmful, comment food below. I'll send you a list of 10 senior-safe meals inspired by the world's healthiest elders. In most Western homes, seniors are told to eat light, toast for breakfast, a salad for lunch, maybe a bowl of soup for dinner. It feels healthy, but for aging bodies, it's quietly dangerous. Let me introduce you to Satoshi, a 78-year-old grandfather from Tokyo. 3 years ago, Satoshi started losing his balance. At first, it was subtle, just a little wobble getting up from the couch. Then he couldn't climb stairs without holding the rail. Then one morning he couldn't lift his grandson onto his lap. His legs just failed. Doctors ran the tests. Nothing showed up. No disease. No injury. What they found was even more surprising. Satoshi wasn't sick. He was starving of protein. Even though he ate 3 meals a day, his body wasn't getting enough of the right amino acids to maintain muscle. And like most seniors, his ability to absorb nutrients had slowed. That's when his daughter, a dietitian, stepped in. She rebuilt his entire routine around traditional Japanese sources of protein: soft tofu and miso soup, lightly grilled fish at lunch, a boiled egg with rice in the morning, and small portions of natto, even when he grimaced at the taste. Just 60 to 80 grams of quality protein a day. And within 2 months, something incredible happened. Satoshi could stand from the floor without help. He walked to the corner store again, and when his grandson came running toward him, he caught him, strong and smiling. The truth is, after 60, muscles don't just shrink. They disappear, quietly, painfully, and far faster than most realize. But with the right kind of protein, that trend can be reversed. If you're unsure whether you're getting enough protein every day, comment strength below. I'll send you a simple chart showing exactly how much you need and where to get it, without heavy meals or meat overload. In most Western cultures, sugar is everywhere. It hides in breakfast cereal, it's poured into coffee. It's offered as comfort when we're sad. But in Japan, especially among older adults, sugar isn't comfort. It's a caution sign. Let me tell you about Naomi, an 85-year-old woman from Okinawa. She lost her husband, Kazuo, at just 66 years old. He didn't drink, he didn't smoke, but he loved pastries, soda, and sweet milk tea every single day. One evening, while reading the newspaper, Kazuo's heart just stopped. No warning, no second chance. When Naomi got the autopsy results, the doctors were clear. His arteries were nearly sealed shut. It was advanced metabolic damage, likely from years of high blood sugar. Naomi was devastated, but she made a quiet vow. If sugar helped take him away from me, I won't let it take me too. The very next day, she changed everything. She stopped buying packaged desserts. She replaced white rice with barley. She switched to unsweetened green tea and learned to love the bitterness. She began walking every morning, not for weight, but for blood sugar control. Today, Naomi is 85. She lives alone, walks to the market, gardens. She says her eyes are a little foggy, but her mind is clearer than ever. In fact, Japanese seniors consume up to 75% less added sugar than Americans. And the result? Lower diabetes rates, fewer strokes, less dementia. Sugar ages the body from the inside out, and most people never see it coming. If you've ever lost someone to heart disease or diabetes, comment enough below. Let's start treating sugar like the threat it really is, before it's too late. In the West, movement is often treated like punishment. Go to the gym, do 30 minutes of cardio, push harder, and yet, many seniors feel exhausted just thinking about it, so they stop moving altogether. But in Japan, movement isn't forced. It's woven into everyday life, gentle, intentional, and constant. Let me introduce you to Hiroshi, a 90-year-old retired calligrapher from Sapporo. Every morning before breakfast, Hiroshi rides his old blue bicycle down to the local fish market. He doesn't call it exercise. He calls it breathing time. He pedals slowly, passing cherry trees, stopping to chat with neighbors, listening to the sound of the river as it flows. At the market, he buys fresh mackerel and vegetables, then pedals home with a smile. He's done this every single day for the past 27 years. And here's what's remarkable. At 90, Hiroshi doesn't use a cane. He doesn't struggle to get out of chairs. He still kneels to tie his shoes, not because he lifts weights, but because he never stopped moving. Japanese elders walk to shop. They sweep floors by hand. They squat while gardening. They sit on the floor and stand up, again and again, building strength without even thinking about it. Compare that to the Western lifestyle. Cars for every errand, chairs that never challenge us, entire days without meaningful motion. The difference is profound. The human body was built to move, not just in 30-minute chunks, but in small, constant ways that keep muscles alive and joints awake. If movement is something you want more of in your life, comment "move" below. I'll send you a simple Japanese-inspired routine you can do at home. No gym, no pressure, just gentle strength for life. In the West, sleep is often the first thing sacrificed. Late-night news, scrolling on phones, heavy meals after 9 p.m. Just one more episode. But in Japan, and especially among seniors, sleep is protected like a treasure. Let me introduce you to Taro, an 88-year-old retired math teacher from Kyoto. Taro lost his wife Aiko 7 years ago. For weeks, he couldn't sleep. He stayed up until 2 a.m. watching TV, just to keep the silence away. But over time, he realized something strange. The later he stayed up, the worse he remembered her. Her voice became foggy, her smile harder to recall. It was as if his brain, exhausted and scattered, was pushing her memory away. So he made a change. He started going to bed by 9 p.m. No TV after sunset, no heavy food, just green tea, a book, and a quiet room. And slowly, he said something incredible. I began dreaming about her again, like she came back to visit me and stay a little longer. Taro now calls sleep his daily medicine for memory. Science backs him up. Quality sleep cleans the brain of toxins, reduces Alzheimer's risk, and helps preserve long-term memory, especially in seniors. And yet, most older adults get fragmented, low-quality sleep and suffer for it. If you've been struggling with poor sleep or restless nights, comment "sleep" below. I'll share 3 Japanese nighttime habits that support deep, healing rest without pills or side effects. In Western countries, aging often brings quiet, but not the peaceful kind. It's the kind of quiet that feels like being forgotten. Grown children don't call, neighbors don't stop by, and day after day, loneliness sinks in like dust in an empty room. But in Japan, elders are not just respected, they're included in meals, in decisions, in laughter. Let me introduce you to Yuki, a 76-year-old woman living in a tiny seaside town near Nagasaki. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m., Yuki hosts a tea circle with her 3 closest friends, all widows like her. They drink matcha, eat sesame rice crackers, and talk about everything from childhood crushes to the pain of losing a partner. Sometimes they cry. More often, they laugh until their sides ache. Yuki says something simple but powerful. Grief shrinks when someone holds it with you. And she's right. Research shows that seniors with strong social bonds live longer, get sick less often, and recover faster, both emotionally and physically. Meanwhile, 1 in 3 seniors in the West lives in isolation. Loneliness increases the risk of stroke, dementia, depression, even early death. The body needs connection, the heart needs to be seen, and the soul needs to feel like it still matters. If you've ever felt forgotten, or if someone you love is pulling away, comment "together" below. Your words could be the reminder that no one should age alone. In the US, the average senior takes 6 or more prescription drugs every single day. High blood pressure, pill, joint pain, pill, trouble sleeping, pill. No one asked why. We just reach for the bottle. But in Japan, especially among the older generation, medicine isn't the first answer. It's the last. Let me introduce you to Dr. Aoki, a 67-year-old geriatrician in Osaka. He's treated over 3,000 elderly patients, and he's known for something rare in his field. He tries to get his patients off medication. One of his patients, Fumiko, 84, came in with 5 prescriptions for arthritis, fatigue, blood sugar, digestion, and sleep. Instead of giving her a 6th pill, Dr. Aoki asked about her diet, her sleep, her movement, and her loneliness. Over the next 3 months, he made small changes. Warm turmeric tea for inflammation, slow evening walks for blood sugar, fermented radish for digestion, and weekly meetups with her niece for joy. By month 4, she dropped 3 medications with her primary doctor's approval. Her joints loosened, her energy returned, and her smile came back. Japanese elders are taught prevention is the real prescription. They focus on why the body is struggling, not just how to mask the symptom. And it's working. If you're taking more meds now than ever before and wondering if there's a better way, comment less below. I'll share 4 natural habits Japanese seniors use to stay off unnecessary medication. Safely and simply. It's sticky. It smells like old socks. And most Westerners can't even get past the first bite. But in Japan, this one food is known as the breakfast of longevity. Let me tell you about Mieko, a 94-year-old grandmother from Okinawa. She still wakes up at 6 a.m. She cooks her own breakfast. She walks down the street without help, and she says her knees haven't hurt in over a decade. Her secret? A single tablespoon of natto, fermented soybeans, every morning for the past 40 years. It's not pretty, it's not sweet, but it's packed with vitamin K2, probiotics, and nattokinase, a powerful enzyme that supports the brain, heart, and blood vessels. Mieko mixes it into rice, sometimes adds mustard or chopped scallions. She says it keeps her mind from rusting and her blood thin and clean. Turns out she's not wrong. A recent study from Japan's National Center for Global Health and Medicine found that seniors who ate fermented soy regularly had a 31% lower risk of cardiovascular death, even if they didn't exercise daily. Natto helps reduce artery stiffness, supports memory, and promotes healthy clotting without the side effects of medication. In the West, we swallow pills. In Japan, they swallow natto. The difference? One fights symptoms. The other supports the whole system. Would you be willing to try something sticky, smelly, and strange if it helped you stay strong into your 90s? If yes, comment natto below, and I'll send you 3 ways to prepare it so it actually tastes good, plus where to find it near you.